Over the years, we've made a lot of different raised beds, and we even showed you a creative way to grow straight in the ground without digging. Today, I'm going to show you 4 of these methods. If you're a new gardener just trying to decide, I will make sure that we have a chapter guide in the description, so you can just click to the one you're looking for, or watch them all if you're enjoying it. First is going to be a very affordable method, but one that doesn't really last so long. The second is going to be kind of a very standard build your own raised bed garden. Third, it's going to be a premium option. And yes, I've got some cool discount codes and affiliate links if you're interested in those. They're in the description. And that final one is a trick for growing in the ground without ever even having to dig. There's not really a right or wrong, but all of them come with trade-offs, and we will discuss those in this video. And you can make a choice for yourself based upon your circumstances. Before we start discussing the techniques, if you are enjoying this video, hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you. There's a lot of fun stuff here. So hit that subscribe button and join us. We also have a great big giveaway right now. So check that out. It's in the description. All right, the first technique we're going to go over is literally our most popular video on the channel at this time. Now, you've got to promise me that we are not going to cannibalize all of the views for that video by explaining it here, but I'm going to go ahead and walk you through what that video is about. Do still check it out. It's a great video. A lot of people have enjoyed it over the years. I'll put a link to it right above here. But here is the quick and dirty. Dirty. It's a gardening joke. Anyhow, so basically what we do here is we just find some mulch cloth. In my case, I got mulch cloth from the dollar store back when the dollar store was actually $1. And I used that as the expense in my raised bed. And the video shows how I was able to get it to be firm enough to hold up, and then put it around some sticks that I just drove into the ground, sticks from my yard, from trees. And then I put soil in it. And in my case, the soil didn't cost me money because we have municipal compost where I live. There are other ways that you can get soil cheaply, maybe even free around where you live. If you have people who have farms, they might have manure that you could either buy or even get. Maybe you'll have to do some work cleaning up that. But particularly if you have some composted manure, that's what you're going to want to use. Or compost from lots of other different things. But that does take some planning in advance. I do actually have another video where I go through a great raised bed mix that you can put together if you do have to go out and buy it, and still do it somewhat affordably, but not the $1 raised bed at that point. Our next method is our classic raised bed. Now let's first talk about why this is a more durable solution than the first one we showed you. The first one is mulch cloth. It's going to deteriorate over time, particularly if you're using dollar store mulch cloth. So I only got probably about a season until I still had a mound of dirt there. So you could have still grown in the mound of dirt maybe for another season or two before it weathered away. But it really isn't a good, strong, durable bed. This, on the other hand, is wood. I here am just using pine boards. So they aren't cedar, they aren't pressure treated, they're not anything that's going to last a really long time. And in fact, today this raised bed is falling apart. I still have it. I'll probably, throughout the course of this season, replace it. It's missing kind of a side at this point. But this was years ago. This was 2017 that I made this raised bed. So it has done well for almost a decade. So it is a very viable solution if you're just getting started. Wood isn't cheap these days, but overall, relatively speaking, this isn't an expensive option. It does take a little bit of time, but it's good. If I were to do it today, I probably wouldn't do it quite how I'm doing it here, where I'm just putting the corners together. I might try to fit them together more like a puzzle, where I use a jigsaw to actually cut out kind of a tongue and groove process to help with some of the stresses. And I might use thicker boards. And quite honestly, I don't mind a taller bed these days. So that might be something else to consider. One thing that we talk about in this video, and again, please do look at the original video. It will show you some of my early days of doing YouTube videos. But we put cardboard under it to help prevent weeds growing up from under it. And we also then put, our municipal compost in here. So that was how we did it. It's a good video. Check it out. I show you the basics. Now, our third option is kind of the premium option here. If you want a raised bed that is going to stick with you through time, probably last more than 20 years, not going to have any problems with rot that the wooden beds do, and that has a nice high quality material, not going to get scratched up or rust or anything else. This is the Vigo Garden raised bed. And yes, I do have a link below and a discount code. Currently they're running a good discount there. So check out all the details in the description below for that if you're interested. But feel free to use one of the other options as well. But just to describe this, it is a metal raised bed, means it's durable. They have a lot of different things you can add on to their raised bed, including a watering kit, which I did. And they have trellising and other things. It kind of becomes something that you can keep adding to make it a real hobby. And you can obviously get other raised beds and other stuff from them as well. And I have a playlist of some of the other stuff I've gotten from them over time. But the real advantage here is just the durability. You don't have to worry about this at all. I know with my wooden raised beds that having to repair them is common. Here, there's no problem with any of that. Another thing I really like about this bed, and you can accomplish it with wooden beds as well, is that this is a taller raised bed than I was dealing with in that first one, where it was maybe about 10-inch boards that I was using. And this one, I believe, 17 inches. So it's much more user-friendly when you're interacting. So that's something to keep in mind when you're determining the bed size that is appropriate for you. And our fourth technique is actually going to be an in-ground technique. Now, obviously, you can get out a tiller, tear up the ground, build yourself a classic tilled garden. And in all honesty, those tend to do very well. If you supplement with some fertilizer or compost, you can get a very good tilled garden to work in and have great results. So not hating on that approach at all. But if you don't want to disturb the soil, if you want to build something in ground, there's this technique. Basically, we're laying down cardboard and we're covering it in rich compost. We're letting the processes of the soil tear down that cardboard layer, but you're really just planting right in there. The cardboard prevents the grass or weeds from growing up through. And you can cut a little hole in the cardboard if you're afraid that where you're planting something, there isn't going to be enough dirt in what you've put on top. But really, you're supplementing with enough rich compost that you're really able to grow in it either way. So that was our 4 different techniques. Let us know in the comments below which one you prefer. And remember to subscribe to the channel and check out that giveaway. We also have our newsletter. I look forward to growing with you.